Welcome back, everyone, to the Why Bother podcast. This is episode 10. We're finally going to number them again. I think only one of them were numbered, and we didn't keep track, but we're going to now. So, episode 10, Why Bother podcast. I am Michelle.
I'm Phil.
So, baby.
Yes.
You know Mother Goose, right?
Yes.
Seems like a good broad. Like, if she wasn't like a fictional character, like if she was a real person, that she'd be sweet, right?
Yes.
Wrong. I've been thinking, and I think that a comedian a long time ago, maybe even a couple of comedians, might have done something about this. But if you think about it, Mother Goose did her nursery rhymes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you break it down, the nursery rhymes, most of them, not all of them, are fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Three blind mice, see how they run? They all run off to the farmer's wife, who cut off their fucking heads with a carving knife.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see such a horrible sight as three blind mice? I think that's how it goes. That's fucked up.
A little bit, yeah.
What kind of kid wants to hear that? That is not comforting. Like, okay, there you go, kids. Now, good night. Sweet dreams, right?
Yeah.
Rockabye baby on the treetop. Why anyone would have their baby on a treetop is fucking beyond me. But when the wind blows, the cradle will rock, and when the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that baby's dead, clearly. Jack and Jill went up the hill, fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, which is his head. Right?
Yeah.
Broke his fucking head. And Jill came tumbling after. So, she didn't get out of it gracefully either, huh?
Absolutely not.
A woman who lived in a shoe had so many children she didn't know what to do. So she gave them some water and fed them some bread and whipped them all soundly and sent them to bed. So they're going to bed with water and bread because she couldn't keep her legs closed and apparently had a lot of kids. All I'm saying is Mother Goose was a goddamn lunatic.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You guys can do whatever you want. I personally would, if I were you, not let her near my kids. Just keep her away. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so I told you to read a little bit because I wasn't sure if you knew anything about it, but to read it and then not to talk to me about it, just save it for the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I'm not sure I get like everything about this, but I knew once you read it, you would understand more than I would. About New York City.
New York State, not New York
Okay,
City.
New York State. That makes more sense. So the woman, she's an African-American politician who runs... What is she for the state?
She's the Attorney General.
Each state has an Attorney General?
Each state has an Attorney General.
And then Barr is just the federal Attorney General?
Yes.
Ugh. Okay, so, so she is suing... Well, the state of New York is suing the NRA.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about? I mean, I heard a little of it, but and how do you think that that's going to end? Because apparently, from what I heard, that's the first time a state has done that. So you read the clip, and again, you would get it more than me.
Well, I browsed the clip. I didn't really read it that much. But nonetheless, states sue for things all the time. And in this particular case, the state is suing because of the pretty well documented mismanagement of the NRA. A lot of the funds from the NRA goes into the pockets of a lot of the people that run it, which shouldn't be the case. So essentially, the state attorneys general, or attorney general in this case, actually, is suing on behalf of NRA members who live in the state of New York for essentially fraud. Because the NRA is Wayne LaPierre and some of the other people that run the NRA are basically embezzling the funds and using them to fund very extravagant lifestyles.
They're fucking greedy.
Yeah.
And they don't care about anyone else.
Yes.
Basically. Okay, I get that, because that's how a lot of them are. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, so the second part of the question, how do you think, do you think they have a chance?
Well,
this lawsuit, do you think this lawsuit has a chance?
No, not really. I mean, I forget where the NRA is based, but it's not in New York, so there's a limited availability.
You said New York State. What do you mean not in New York?
Well, the NRA isn't based in that state. So there's a limited availability of what they can technically do.
Where is the NRA based?
I can't remember, but I'm sure it's not New York State.
It's in our country, right?
It's a very liberal, yes, it's in our country. New York State's a very liberal state for the most part. So I'm sure the NRA
they're blue usually, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm not quite sure where the NRA is based, but wherever they are, because it's not that state's attorney general suing them, there's limited things that can happen. Plus, regardless of whatever turns out or however things turn out, that's only 1 out of 50 states, so it's not like...
it's not like New York doesn't have other options?
No, it's not like the NRA doesn't have other options. The NRA has membership.
The NRA has too much power.
I wouldn't say so.
I would. It's disgusting. Another part, still on new news, keeping in tone with 2020 and fucking every goddamn thing that's going on that's... I don't know how the world keeps spinning, but it does, thankfully. Sun keeps coming up. And this isn't like a long whatever, but I'm not sure if you knew that there was an earthquake, a 5.1 earthquake. I think it was last night, yesterday in North Carolina.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes, I heard.
Another earthquake. Plus more wildfires in Colorado. Did you know that?
No, but it's not surprising.
To me, it's just more shit getting worse and worse and worse, you know? And it's scary. Okay. The old news is actually, I just want to ask Phil, now Phil explained this to me a long time ago, and I'm not an idiot, but I am a complete moron, if that makes any sense. But the Mason-Dickson line, that was back when the civil rights were going on, right?
Civil War, yes.
That's what I meant, Civil War, sorry. Now, that's obviously, it's an invisible line that goes through to divide the North and the South, right? Yeah. And I remember you told me this a long time ago. But the only thing I want to know, because I know obviously the North won and it was about slavery. I know all that. But what I don't understand is why is the name Mason-Dickson? And is that a racist thing to say, like Mason-Dickson?
Actually, I have not a clue why it's called Mason-Dickson.
Okay, well, here's probably where I should drop the audience clapping.
I'm assuming they were generals, one being on the northern side and one being on the southern side. I don't know. You have me stumped.
Wow. I'm impressed with myself, by the way. Okay, that was fun. Real quick, I do want to give a shout out to, I don't know if you guys listen to reaction channels. Some do, I'm sure. Some don't, I'm sure. I do. I listen to the ones that I really like, and the other ones I don't care about. I subscribe to the ones I really like. But there is one that is my favorite, and it is called The Break Room, and I told you about them, baby. It's three guys. It's Brian, Gus, and Jason. And hi, guys. And The Break Room is, everybody knows how to spell that. Break Room is actually spelled BR3, so the E is like a 3, and then AKROOM, the rest of Break Room. They are awesome. They will do reactions. The chemistry between them, and again, I've told you this too, is amazing, and they're really funny, and they'll be honest, they take only, and they're very, very interactive with the people, with anybody who watches them. They will always answer you. They're awesome. But yeah, they're really funny. And now I was told, I'm not going to say who told me to say this, but I was told that Brian and Gus make the show, make the channel. But Jason, I can't do it in good conscience. So that's a lie. They're just crazy. They all make the show. They all make the channel. And I love you guys, and I look forward to seeing you soon. So if anybody is into reaction channels, definitely try The Break Room. They really are great, and they're very honest with all their reactions. They don't care. They'll tell you they like them or they don't. So, Philip.
Yes.
You're really, you know a lot of comedians. You've been following comedians. Geez, I couldn't even tell you how long. You know the old ones. You know.
Yeah.
It seems to me like I am starting to know more of the newest ones.
Yeah. I don't give a shit about the newest ones.
Like Andrew Schultz. He's very funny. I know people listening, I'm sure you know who he is. And Bert Kreischer. I showed you one of his specials you watched. He's funny. But again, back to the old ones. You know the really old ones, like Bill Hicks.
Well, that's not really old. Yes, that's not really old by any means.
Well, it depends on who's listening. I mean, I didn't know who Bill Hicks was until I got with you. And I'm a year and 2 months older than you are. You know what I mean? So, and if anyone at a certain age is listening, they don't know who the hell Bill Hicks is. What was it, 80s and 90s?
80s.
Yeah, and to them that's ancient. Some people. You know what I mean? So, but again, older comedian. And he did die of, what was it, drugs?
No, actually.
Cancer?
He gave it, he died of cancer, I believe. He gave up drugs before he...
Oh, wow. Give drugs up and then get cancer. That's pretty fucked. But since I've been with you, I've listened to him, and I like him. He's very dramatic, very loud, and very enthusiastic, you know?
Yeah.
And if you ask me, very liberal.
Yes.
But yes, he was really good. And then another one, and I believe he's still alive, is Dennis Leary. He's still alive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's not a comic. He's not really a comic anymore, though. He's had several TV shows, some of which are dramatic. He's more of a...
he did acting also.
Yes.
Did not know that. I probably even seen him in something and still didn't realize, you know? But I do know the one that I watched with you And ironically, we were just talking about cancer, and this one is called something cancer.
No Cure for Cancer.
No Cure for Cancer. But anyway, he's very overdramatic as well. Like, he's very dramatic, I mean.
Yes.
And I think he must be like a liberal too.
No, he's kind of...
drug-wise, he is liberal.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway...
He represents kind of at least he did, he probably still does, but again, he's not really a comic anymore. Kind of the male chauvinist persona.
In your face.
Yes.
Yes. But I've watched him with you also, and, you know, I like him also. But there is a clip that when I first heard this, and it's been probably 2 years since I listened to him with you. Mm-hmm. But before that, I haven't. I mean, I heard of him. I've never seen him, but I watched it with him, and this is my favorite part of his stand-up on this, and I'm so sorry, guys, but once you hear this clip, you're not going to be able to get the song out of your head, and neither can I. So have fun with that.
Folks, we'd like to sing a song about the American dream. About me. About you. About that special feeling we get way down in the cockles of our hearts. Maybe below the cockles. Maybe in the subcockle area. Maybe in the liver. Maybe in the kidneys. Maybe even in the colon. We don't know. I'm just a regular Joe with a regular job. I'm your average white suburbanite slob. I like football and porno and books about war. I got an average house with a nice hardwood floor. My wife and my job, my kids and my car, my feet on my table, and a Cuban cigar. But sometimes that just ain't enough to keep a man like me interested. Oh no, no way. No, I've gotta go out and have fun at someone else's expense. Oh yeah. Yeah. I drive really slow in the ultra fast lane while people behind me are going insane. I'm an ecto-yes, I'm an ecto-yes, I use public toilets and I piss on the seat. I walk around in the summertime saying, how about this heat? I'm an ecto-yes, I'm an ecto-yes.
So, again, you know what? And I don't know, is that still on Netflix, you think?
Oh, I don't think so, no.
No, it wouldn't be. But you guys can look it up on YouTube. It is on there.
Yeah.
It is on there.
Just the song part.
You sure they wouldn't have, like, any of the comedy? I think there was, like, the whole thing on there.
I don't know.
But look it up. It's No Cure for Cancer, and it's Dennis Leary. And now you guys will have that song in your head as well. And I won't be the only one. So, okay. I am not... here, I want to do a fun fact, and you tell me if you think this is true, because I heard this.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Different... You know how there's sponges in the sea or ocean or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, that's where they come from, right? Sponges?
Yeah, but only natural sponges are...
Okay, well then natural sponges.
Right.
Okay. So, and you know how they have different colors?
Yes.
Okay. I heard that if you take, like, I don't know what colors they are, there would be a pink and maybe a blue, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If you take them, liquidize them, mix it all together,
mm-hmm.
and then put it back in the tank,
mm-hmm.
or whatever you have, or in the sea, whatever, and let it, they will spring back, and not only will they spring back to a sponge, but they will go back to their color. Like, all the red ones will come out. I said red and blue, right?
Yeah.
All the red parts of the red sponge, like, it will unmix itself, their natural selves. Like, the red one will be back to the red one, and the blue one will be back to the blue one. Have you ever heard that?
No.
I am telling you, doesn't that sound great? It's pretty interesting.
It's interesting sounding, but it doesn't sound like, especially since I don't think natural sponges really come in those colors.
Okay, hypothetically.
They're kind of like yellowish and greenish, I think.
Okay, then a yellow and green one. You don't think it's true?
I don't think it's true. It could be, but...
I think it is. I really do. And I think it's so interesting, especially if it is. I think it's so interesting. But I think it is true. You guys can look it up.
Real quick, while we were taking a bathroom break here, I looked up the Mason-Dickson line. And it turns out that it is not named for generals. It is actually the Mason-Dixon line way predates the Civil War.
Really?
And it was a border dispute between the states.
When America was first being built?
Yes, in the colonial period. And it is the two surveyors. I forget what their full names were, but one was named one was named Mason, and one was named Dixon. That drew the map that settled the border dispute between the states, between Pennsylvania and Maryland and Delaware and Virginia.
So it was basically just the East Coast at the time.
Well, yes, America was...
I know it started on the East Coast and worked its way west, but, I mean, there were only, 13 original colonies, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And those colonies are now called states.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. And New Jersey, we were one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, have you heard anything about this whole Ellen controversy? I will say this. I got a text, and it does not say who it's from. There's a number, obviously, but I'm not going to call it back. It just says, "Dear Why Bother? Your thoughts on the Ellen controversy." And the only Ellen... Have you heard about the Ellen controversy?
No, I have not.
Okay. So you know how, she can't do the show from, her regular show's not going on because of the whole virus thing.
I didn't know that, but that makes perfect sense.
Shows.
Yes.
That's most shows. And apparently a lot of people are coming out and saying that basically, she's a bitch and they got treated like shit when they were on her show. And there were some racist things going on. In other words, Ellen's not sweet like everyone thinks that she is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to... someone sent me the text. Again, there's no name, it's just the number, but I'm not going to not answer it. So here is my opinion on the Ellen thing, because you don't know anything about it.
No.
And from what I've heard, that's all I heard. It's just a bunch of hearsay. I don't doubt it. I think when people get a certain amount of money, they become whatever. But, Ellen's had money for a while. My take on it is maybe she is a bitch. I don't know. I guess it'll, but it's not just a couple people. It's a lot of people coming out and saying it. They got treated like shit on her show from, the people who run the show. And even some of the people who run the show got treated like shit.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I hear Ellen, I just hear, just keep swimming.
Well, what exactly is treated like shit?
Some of the guests, from what I've heard, some of the workers for her. Apparently she wanted the whole... It was supposed to be a positive show in the beginning when she started it, and she started it a long time ago, but her words were, I want it to be a positive atmosphere and everyone is equal and, and apparently it's just coming out now that is not what's taking place at all and hasn't for a while. And it's not just one or two or three. It's a lot of people saying that. So again, I wasn't there. I don't know. I just hear Dory's voice from Finding Nemo when I hear Ellen's name. And the fact that she loves animals like I do. But I'm not saying that she didn't. Maybe she is a bitch. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Going back to when we were just saying about how you know the older comedians more than I, and I know some of the newer ones, and apparently you said I don't really give a shit, but whatever. I do. Okay.
Okay.
So, have you heard of Ari Schaefer?
Yes, sort of.
So you don't know his comedy or anything,
No.
right? Now, I'm not too enthused with him, and I haven't really heard a lot of his comedy, but I haven't given him a chance. So, Ari Schaefer, again, Bert Kreischer.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I'm sure that a lot of people out there already know this, but I'm sure a lot don't. Apparently, a couple of years ago, they were doing a podcast, Ari and Bert, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ari spiked Bert's drink with Molly, right?
Right.
Without Bert having any clue. And apparently they were at Bert's house. I don't know if they were in the garage or something. And so yeah, Ari spiked Bert's drink with Molly. Bert had no clue. And he was getting obviously fucked up. And, they were doing the podcast. And from what Ari says, he was just doing it to have fun with his friend and to make a killer podcast because Bert would be all fucked up. But I think Ari was on it too, but still. What happened is Bert's kids came home and Bert was like freaking out. And Bert's wife, Leanne, came home. And when she found out, I don't know if she found out that night or later, but she's still pissed about it, which I would be fucking pissed too. And they never put the podcast out because they don't want to, I guess, whatever that kind of behavior. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And maybe it still freaks them out. I don't know. But I know Tom Segura, which is one of Bert's really good friends, was pretty pissed off at Ari. And, a lot of people were, and so was Bert. Bert wouldn't answer his calls or anything for a long time. But I do want to play a clip where they're talking about it a little bit. And the name of the clip, I'll tell you guys after the clip plays, if you want to watch it. But this one, there's one about how they're talking about what happened right after it happened. And then there's another one, like a little while later, that Bert and him, they put it behind them and Bert forgives them. But it's, I just wanted to, what are your views on that? Would you be pissed off?
Yes.
I'd be fucking furious. So I can't drug you?
No.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
That is the best answer I ever heard. And you're not going to drug me?
No.
Okay, cool.
So no sugar, no pasta, no booze, or very little booze.
Very little booze.
That's great. 21
What's very
pounds.
little? What's very little?
Friday, Saturday. Like I could drink on Friday or Saturday.
But how much did you drink on Friday?
Not much because I get super. I get the first two Friday Saturdays I didn't drink.
Post you were getting an IV because
That, by the way, wait till I tell you what happened. That backfired on me big fucking time.
Why?
Why'd you need it though?
Let's start with Ari slipping me Molly.
What?
Let's start there.
You slipped him on?
Yeah.
Dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
How much?
It's enough.
Interesting.
How did you do it?
Where was this?
It was at his house.
It was at my house in
podcast.
front of my children.
Oh.
We had a
least
shot
it's in a
before.
safe
We had a
place.
shot before we started. I had to empty out a capsule and fucking put it into a shot.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
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 It
was great.
No, it wasn't.
It was great.
It was not.
You're making me go on this fucking stupid shit.
Yeah, Joe, what kind of sociopath are we friends with? He did it to punish me.
Because I have to be sober. You don't give up Molly. You're only giving up alcohol.
I
and
don't do Molly because I just got back from the doctor and he said, hey, it's time to get healthy.
I agree.
And so, yeah.
I agree.
You don't think it's fucking crazy that you would do that?
A bit. Yeah, it's
You're
a
not
bit
doing
crazy.
it to your fucking college roommate. You're doing
Did
it
you
to
even get the Molly tested? Like, where are you buying this Molly?
I've done it for my favorite Molly dealer. It's
and
great
you just
Molly.
spiked
It's
his
great.
drink?
Yeah.
So that's the clip. And like I said, I would tell you the name of it. It is just, all you have to do is Google, or no, not Google, YouTube. YouTube, the time Ari spiked Bert's drink with Molly. It's JRE, Sober October 2019. And I think they say Ari did it because he was pissed off that the guys were doing Sober October and he doesn't believe in it or some bullshit. But let me know what you guys think. Would you be pissed off? I'd be fucking fuming. Fuming.
And Joe Rogan, you finally made it on the podcast, so you can quit calling once again.
Yeah,
you're on here.
I think
and you didn't even have to fly out to here to be on the podcast. You made it.
Yeah, he did, and you're right about that. But I think that what he really wanted was to be here for us to interview him. So that is a big difference. But he's getting there. I mean,
True.
He's moving up in fans.
Yeah.
Some people are starting to listen to him. He'll get there, though. He'll get there. We'll give him a bump. Shout out, Joe Rogan. Okay, so I'm not going to do a riddle, but I am going to quiz you a little bit. You know how much I love the British accent?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, guys. I'm a little drunk. I don't want everybody to think I drink all the time. I drink when we do these podcasts, and that's it. And that's twice a week. Okay, that's a lie. Okay. So anyway, I'm going to ask you some of the British, because again, I love the accent, and that's like where I would go. I want to go there so bad, but I'm too afraid to fly. And plus we're poor. We can't afford it. Okay, so some of the British words. How do they say vitamins?
Vitamins.
Okay. If they call someone and it's busy, what do they say? It's what?
I don't know.
Engaged. They say engaged. What does taking the piss mean?
Making fun of somebody.
Good job, baby. I might let you go with me if I ever go. Okay?
Okay.
I might let you come with me. Okay, so when they say the word fag, they mean what?
Cigarette.
Okay. What does queue mean?
A line.
A line. If they're standing in a queue or queue up, standing in a line or line up. They don't say vegetables. They say.
I don't know, actually.
They just say veg.
They
just say veg. So you don't hear them say vegetable. What does shag mean?
Sex.
Yeah, sex. You know sex, right?
Yeah.
You know how to say that in all languages, I'm sure. Okay. How do they say TV?
The telly.
Telly. What is it? Okay, I know that you know how they say Z in the alphabet. So when they talk about an A to Z, what are they speaking of? Because that's not the alphabet. If they say, like, do you have an A to Z?
What do you mean? It's they just call Z Z. So A to Z would be A to Z.
Yes, and I just said that to you. I know you know that.
Right.
But if they're asking someone, do you have an A to Z? That's actually a meaning.
I did not know that. I would think that they were talking if I had an alphabet with me.
Yeah, they would ask you that. Yeah.
That's what I would decipher from it.
It's actually GPS. An A to Z is what we would say a GPS. Okay, what does gauzing mean?
Not a clue.
Stop gauzing.
Don't know.
It's spitting. Like spit.
Mm-hmm.
What is a ladybird?
Lady Bird Johnson.
I have no idea what that means.
She was the first lady of this country.
Oh.
Lady Bird, I don't know.
Ladybug. What does it mean to nick something?
Steal it.
Yes. And one more I'm going to give you. I'll leave the others out. Trainers.
Sneakers.
Very good. You know
And
what?
how about a jumper? Do you know what a jumper is?
They say a jumper.
Yeah.
Boy. I'm sure I've heard of it, but I'm going to say no.
It's a sweater.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I did not know that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're definitely coming with me. Deal?
Deal.
Okay. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas about and opinions about what happens after you die. I know your opinion
Yeah.
and your thoughts on the matter. You're an atheist.
Yeah.
So what happens after you die?
Nothing.
You just put in the ground?
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Mom, but I'm basically the same. I'm an atheist too. And I've been brought up Catholic. I was Catholic my whole life, me, my communion, all that. And I guess there's still a 4% I hold on to that there could be something out there. But that's not necessarily a heaven or a God. That could be anything. Reincarnation, multi-universes, and you go there. It could be anything. Who knows? Nobody knows. But for the most part, yes, I believe what Philip believes. But here is, it's such a cute clip of what kids believe happens after you die. So enjoy.
What happens after you die?
What? What happens after you die?
Yeah, what happens after you die?
This is a tough question I cannot answer. I don't know. I don't get this question. I'm not dead yet. I don't die. I don't care at all.
Well, you don't have to think about it now. What happens after you die?
They turn into zombies.
What was that?
Zombies.
Oh.
You will go to the rainbow. You go to jail.
I really don't know. I've always thought that it would just be like a never-ending dream.
Sleep, deep sleep, and never ends.
It's a very long sleep.
You're dead forever. Your heart is like never beeping when you die. You never come back alive. I actually think that's mostly just over, really.
Is it like you're unplugging something?
And then when you try to put it back in, the plug just breaks.
Sounds kind of scary. What happens after you die?
What happens after you die?
They put you in a casket and
I get buried in a cemetery. And in the graveyard, your body lays there. And my mom said whole mom's head is cut off and put in a separate graveyard. And the body's in a different graveyard.
Why?
I don't know.
How cute is that?
Very.
It's cute.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So you know what? Let me just say the number again if you guys need to get a hold of us or leave a message, want to know anything like that. Is 856-882-9670. Hope to hear from you guys.
Or you can email us at y.bother.pod@gmail.com.
We love you guys. Bye.
Good night, everyone.